Doodlebud here. Today we're featuring this gorgeous sterling silver pen. It's made by Yardo Lead. They've been in the writing instrument industry since 1822, which is older than how long Canada has been formed as a country. According to my Canada Day t-shirt that I wear each day, we've been doing it since 1867. They've been making writing instruments since 1822, so they got us beat by 45 years. So they've been around a long time. You've probably seen their stuff at some point, especially their pencils are quite iconic. I almost purchased one from Facebook Marketplace a little while ago. I waited too long and no doubt it got scooped up right away. But the company has new ownership. And what we're going to do is tell you all about this pen and all the details because there's so much handwork that goes into it. The machines that makes this pen, they're not CNC. They're not controlled by computers. They're controlled by individual craftspeople who have decades of experience. But what I'll do first is feature a little video. I spoke to Giles English. Him and his brother purchased Yardo Lead just recently, and they come from the watchmaking industry. They sold that company for quite a bit of money, was introduced to the brand, fell in love with it right away, and thought, I got to be involved in this. So I'm going to cut to a quick little video, about 3-4 minutes, that Giles did to tell you history of the company and himself and his passion for the business.
Hi, my name is Giles English from Yardo Lead, and I've been asked to say a few words about Yardo Lead and really how I got here and why I personally am enjoying this business so much. So my background, I trained as an engineer, university. My father had a terrible plane crash and he died with my brother, and my brother survived. And we went around the family business restoring historical aircraft, old Spitfires, Mustangs, that sort of thing. We'd always had this passion for watchmaking within the family. My grandfather, my father, used to store old clocks and had that love. And growing up around that, myself and my brother carried that passion on, and we set up a company called Bremmer Watch Company, a British manufacturer of high-end mechanical watches. And we got to the point in the UK where building full movements, cases, everything here in the UK. Some amazing engineers and skilled watchmakers. Sold that business almost 3 years ago. And I had a friend who had inherited Yardo Lead, and she said, Giles, come and have a look at it, and we need some help. So I came up here. I'm in the Yardo Lead offices now. This is the centre of the jewellery quarter, which is in Birmingham, England. And the second I stepped in, I fell in love with this business. It's the most amazing company. Obviously, it goes back to 1822 when we founded the propelling pencil. The business was originally called Samson Mordaunt. It merged with another company called Edward Baker. And Yardo Lead was a pencil it created in 1933, which it patented, where you could put multiple leads into a pencil. 12 leads, 3 inches long, you could fit a yard of lead, hence where the name came from. And that was massively popular. We as a company have only ever made silver pens. That's our sort of specialism, and full writing instruments. You know, you could say, well, why the jewelry quarter in Birmingham? Well, it's amazing, the history around here. I mean, just behind there, we used to make 70% of the world's nibs. I think there are 8,000 women working in nib manufacturing around here, over 129 pen companies. And Yardo Lead is now, I think, one of the very last pen companies still out there. And when I saw the business, it needed some love. But the amazing thing, and Emma and the team had done, was to keep the heritage alive, to keep those original engine turning machines, the chasing, all of that silversmith skill set in the business. And that was still here, and that is the amazing part. And those machines go back 100 years, still the best machines out there on the planet to get, whether it's a Barley finish or a pinstripe or whatever I'm trying to create, we can do it all here in the workshop. It is the most beautiful business. Myself and my brother, we're definitely calling ourselves custodians. Yes, we may own it, but we'll never own it forever, and this business will keep on going forever, and really enjoying it. And I think the pen world, for me, it sort of reminds me how the watch world was 30 years ago. It's full of an amazing people, this love of having something that lasts forever in your hand. Takes you back to your youth. You may have been given it as a christening present, maybe your father's, your grandfather's. And the stories we here at Yardo Lead, because we're still warranting and servicing pens from 100 years ago, we hear these amazing stories, and I think it does remind me that passion for a mechanical implement similar to the watch world is something I love so much about it. So it's lovely to be part of it. Our head down since I bought it over a year ago is just building up the manufacturing. That's key. Keeping those skills alive and investing in it. Silver pens, we can only make so few because of the time it takes, but it's a lovely company to be part of. And thank you very much for listening to what we have to say. But if you're ever in Birmingham, please come and visit. Thank you.
Quick thanks to Giles for taking the time to do that little video. I had the pleasure of speaking with them on a conference call before receiving the pen. They reached out to me and said, hey, could we work together? I said, absolutely, for sure. I love the history. I didn't know much about the brand. So they sent out the pen and I hopped on a call with him and got to chat with him for about 45 minutes. And it was fantastic. We have a lot in common. Comes from an engineering background as well. And just a passion for machining and precision, and especially something like this to this day is still made in the techniques that they do all by hand, which is stunning with really, really old machinery. So this is the box that comes in. Packaging is top notch. There's even a polishing cloth that comes with it. They come with a lifetime warranty, as you would expect for a pen of this nature. This is the nice little pen case that comes in. This is actually quite practical. Fits perfectly one pen. There's a little strap in there too, so if you want to secure it. But this is something you can keep it in. If you want to travel with this, you can bring it in here and it's going to stay all nice and protected. So, really, really nice packaging. And also it's practical too, which is something I enjoy. Like if you're gonna get some packaging, I hate ones that are not practical at all. You just throw it away because it's useless. This is really, really nice. The pen I'm showing you today, this is their Viceroy, the grand size. So there's a standard size and there's the grand, which just means bigger. And it has the finish on here is the Barley. There's several different finishes you can get. They're all hand chased. So it's actual people using tools and equipment, controlling it by hand, and depending who does your pen, it can look slightly different, even depending when you get your pen. If you had one of their pens decades ago and that same person's still working there, which you probably are, today, if you order that same pen or pencil, whatever instrument it was, and got the same finish, it could look a little bit different because their technique can change over time. That's something I find super unique. It's made from sterling silver, so it's all starting off with silver tubing. Some of these parts here, so it's a silver sheet, and they'll stamp out the clip. Let me get the focus fixed. That's a better shot. So you can also go to their website, and they'll show you the equipment. They'll show the people actually operating it, the process, how this little clip is made, stamped out of a sheet of silver, which is quite impressive. It's a slip cap design. There's a cap liner in there, and I'm happy to report I've left the cap on the pen, unused it for, it was 3 weeks. I had to go 3 weeks without using it. That was torture. But I pulled it out, wrote, and it was immediate. It has an 18 karat gold nib. Now that's the only thing currently they aren't doing in-house. Everything else is in-house, the whole pen, all the other parts. I think they do want to get to the point so they're making their own nibs, but for now they are outsourced. But you can see here, this has a broad nib. It's got the lovely logo on there. I'll get you again a close-up when I got the macro. And down here at the end of the section, we got the 925 sterling silver, so that's 92.5% silver. A few other alloys that typically go into silver, I believe, are copper and some other things like that, just to help with form in it and malleability and things like that as well. This one is a cartridge converter. We have a nice O-ring, keeps the pen body from turning. And I keep bumping the tripod, sorry about that. We got a brass insert here so the threads don't wear down and everything's good. You wouldn't want to have threads made from silver. That would be a terrible idea. The pen goes together quite nicely. And then they got also all their marks here on the body. Let me show you those. Here's a look at the markings that are on the pen body. The 925, obviously for the silver content, YOL for Yardle lead. I know there is something, I forgot what it is, but there's a little history behind that anchor, even the A and that line that's there. So there's a lot of history and detail that is still accompanied in every single pen. As I get you close up, you can start to see and appreciate the individuality and uniqueness of every single pass made by these hand-operated tools and machines. You can even see here at the very end when the pattern stops, does it stop just before the line or does it go all the way through? These are the things that let you know, yeah, this isn't just hit a button and walk away and out comes your pen body. This is a labor of love. Going down at the end of the pen here, past the section onto the nib, you can see the 18 karat gold and then the Yardle lead logo along with the beautiful filigree work that's done here on the nib. It's Yeah, just some gorgeous finishing on this. We'll do a quick little flyby of the clips. You can see all the handwork that goes into it, that lovely vintage style. You know, it's a very old style, but I like it. It really suits the pen. On my pen box, there was a 9552 number on there. Well, there's that stamped right into the clips. So each pen is individually stamped, and there's a record of every pen, when it was made, who made it, all that good stuff. A better view of those markings there on the pen body too. I'll do my best to put some information in the description, or at least a link down there, so you can learn a little bit more about what each individual one means. As I get things ready here for the size comparison, they did give me an open offer. If I ever venture out that way, make a trip out to England and have the time, they'd love for me to pop by, which is something I would absolutely love to do. More than anything, I would like to see all the equipment being used and just the detail on the machinery. I have an affinity for that stuff. For example, I have this old Soviet era stopwatch, not because it's going to keep precision time. Heck, I got one on my smartphone and my smartwatch, but just something about mechanical things and how they work fascinate me. Digital micrometers are so easy to use, but again, having one and reading the scale, turning it and feeling it, I just love that stuff. So up top, we have a Lamy LX, followed by a Mont Blanc 149, the Grand Viceroy, a Waterman Carène, and then a Grafon Faber-Castell Classic. And here we are with the caps off. You can see it is the longest of the bunch. So it's not super, super thick like the 149. It's a nice diameter on the hand, and it's very comfortable to use, but it's got some good length to it. I like the extra length on the Grand pen body simply because you can post it. But being silver, I wouldn't do that. You're just going to scratch the pen body up. Now, being made from sterling silver, it's got some weight to it with the cap, 63.5. And when it's in the hand and you're writing, we got 44 and change. So it definitely has some weight to it, but for me, it's not uncomfortable. I have a large hand, so keep that in mind. A smaller hand might be better suited with the smaller size. Before the writing sample, I might as well just give you my impressions right now. I'm quite impressed. I think it's absolutely stunning. I love the classic timeless design, even how the cap has this little hat on top, the clip, all the detail work in the pen here. I think it's just stunning. It has an old look to it. I'm looking forward to this oxidizing a little bit over time and getting that patina on the silver. It's quite bright right now, which it looks lovely, but I think this will look great just over time. They have the cloth here to help with polishing. You could polish it even further if you wanted. I'm not going to do that. I'll let it age with grace and just let the true nature of the silver come out and give it some character as well. So yeah, the pen's great out of the box, wrote wonderfully, all the great stuff I showed you. One little thing did come up now, because it's silver and you have a slip cap, and as I mentioned here with posting, you will get fine little micro scratches. That's normal. And you can see over here, there's just some tiny little ones that show up along with my fingerprints. But on this side, there was a couple marks happening here and then one down here. And I thought that seems a little more than I was anticipating. So I got out my magnification loop and I made sure like each time I was putting the pen on to align the nib with the clip. And there was two little nubbins, I call them, on the inside, little blips on the inside. And it's such a precision fit. Like, I'm quite impressed with how close the fit here is of the cap, like the amount of room. It's next to nothing. So those little nubbins that were there, I've since removed them, were causing those little scratches, which are deeper than what I anticipated. I let them know about that, brought it to their attention. They said they're going to let the final QC check folks to know about that. They'll give a final check. I went in and since removed them, just so no additional scratching would happen on the pen. I'm going to polish this up myself right after review. I want to leave it like this so you could see if this happened to you and you paid full price. Like, I got this one for review, but if you paid full price and that happened, you probably might get a little upset. Understandably so, but the pen has a full lifetime warranty. So if something like that happens, mistakes happen sometimes, you reach out, they got you covered. This is an heirloom piece. I'm really looking forward to how this is going to look over the next few years. It came with special paper to help avoid any oxidation until you receive the pen. So all sorts of gorgeous touches. Let's get some ink and some page going together. The paper I'm using is my Clairefontaine. The ink, this might make some people wince a little bit, but I got my Jinhao ink in here. They're blue-black. The reason for that, I find that blue really closely matches the Yardle lead coloring that they got here. So that was my choice, and I like the color. Writing experience is quite nice. I mean, it's a broad nib, it's a gold nib, so it's got some soft bounciness to it, not a flex nib. Don't do that, you'll damage it. But you can see a little bit of line variation when you put a little pressure on there too. Wouldn't do that all the time, but just for a little flair here and there. My typical preference for a nib is fine. They have them in fine, but they asked which nib size I wanted to try out on this. I thought, let's go for a broad, because I thought a special pen like this, a cool grind on a pen like this would just level it up even more. So that's what I was thinking of doing. What do you think? I think I should do that. If you want me to record the process, let me know down there in the comments. That's where we will wrap things up. Check out their website for all the details. I'll have links in the description with as much information as I can provide as well, but they have other models, all that. Go check it out. Pricing on this one. It auto converts right now. Before it wasn't, but I believe it's £1,100. So it's a luxury pen. I mean, solid stainless silver. It's got a gold nib on there. Everything's done with hand-operated machinery and craftsmanship, all that kind of stuff. This is not a beginner's pen. This is in the realm of some of your very high-end pens, Urushi pens, Mackie-E pens, tough to find, limited edition type stuff as well. So for the folks who got the deeper pockets and are on the collector side as well, yeah, this would be something you might want to check out there too. So I appreciate you checking out my video. If you want, leave a thumbs up, hit subscribe. There's even a join button. Got a bunch more fun stuff coming up. I got this really gorgeous pen case here in the back, beautiful leather. I don't want to move it because my pens are balancing on it. So if you like pen cases, keep your eyes peeled for that video. It'll be coming up soon, and we'll catch you next time.